Hello everyone, welcome back to Psychological Theatre, and today I would like to welcome spring. Things are getting warm with every day. In this series of discussions that we have followed till now, we have looked at a lot of different aspects. We've looked at aspects of thought, we've looked at aspects of desire, we've looked at aspects of action, thinking. But one thing which is a little prior to this, a little before this, which I realized that we have missed a bit. And today, maybe that is what I would like to pick up. That factor is the expectation from this world. Okay? Why we expect from the world. When we say from the world, it also means the things inside of the world, it also means the people inside of the world and everything. The same question can be reframed into different words in a way that why do we create a meaning out of this world? Okay? The expectation from the world begins because we feel that there is something meaningful inside of it. Okay? The expectation from the world, okay, the expectation from the society, for example, from the people around you, only arises because you see that there is something meaningful inside this world. Meaningful can also be replaced with important. Because we feel there are important things inside of this world, there is a sense of expectation from it. Now, why do we think that there are important things or people or whatever is existing in the world? Why do we think that whatever it is, why is it important? So let's go a little bit more basic into it. There is a physical expectation, okay? That physical expectation is the demand of food, the demand of clothes, the demand of physical security. The reason we expect it from the world is because we exist in the world. The body exists in this world. And hence, the body has its requirements. The body has to follow the laws of the universe. The body cannot just say, I do not follow gravity or electrostatics. And the laws of the universe make it very clear that you need energy to survive, to act. And the body is constantly acting. Your heart is always beating, your digestive system is working, your nervous system is working, your brain is working, which is consuming a lot of energy. So the body has this constant sense of demand of food. And the reason body wants that food is to keep up with the energy. So that is one sense of expectation that we have. And we don't really have a choice for that. If you exist as a body, if you consume energy to exist, then you need to refill that energy. from time to time. It might be possible that some animals could live many days without food, or even months maybe. But as humans, we require every day something to eat. You wouldn't collapse if you wouldn't eat every day, but still, the body runs really perfectly if you eat every day. And sometimes some fasting is also nice for giving the digestive system a rest, giving the liver some rest. So that's the physical sense of expectation, that I expect to find food in this world because me as a body exists in the world. And because me as a body exists in the world, I really, really need to find this sense of security in the world. And that sense of security comes from me trying to cover myself with some clothes to protect from the cold or from extreme hot, and also from food. But that's not where the game stops. As humans have developed society, at least roughly half of the world does not care about food anymore, or clothes and shelter. The Northern Americas, even in South America, and things are getting better in African countries as well, and as well in Asia. So there might be roughly half of the people on the planet still really struggle for food, but the other half is at least able to get the food and some kind of clothes, some kind of shelter. So when that need is totally fulfilled, that is when we realize that there are also psychological expectations from the world. If a person is not able to get food, then I don't think this person will be able to realize the psychological expectation, because he's still fighting for basic requirement. So the psychological expectations are really coming in, and then these expectations are of various types. You want someone to rely on, you want love, you want happiness, you want to fulfill desires, you want to have pleasure, you want to avoid pain, avoid sadness, okay? Have great experiences, not have bad experiences. So these are all expectations, but these are all psychological expectations, okay? The finger does not really care if you have pleasure or not. The finger requires its nutrition, and if it gets it, it's fine. It doesn't really matter if I ate boiled food or if I ate deep fried food. But for the psychological center, the ego, there comes a difference. The ego says that boiled food is not so tasty, but the fried food is a bit tasty, is better. So that's where the expectation of the ego comes in. Now, if you would look at it from a very background point of view, then you would see that as a person, I see me, myself. I feel I'm inside of this body, looking outside at the world. And this world is all I have. I don't have 10 worlds to look at, or to feel, or to experience. I only have one world around me, which is one universe, when I say that. And when I'm born, I do not really have a purpose, okay? I'm not born with a purpose. I'm born with some basic requirements like food, clothes, shelter, as we said. that make sure I run properly. But beyond that, nature has given us quite a lot of freedom in respect to deciding what you want to do with your life. Or, to put it another way, where you want to find meaning. Okay? And I think this sense of freedom which is given by the nature, nature could have also predefined it, and when you would be born, you would already know that the purpose of your life is this. But there's a sense of openness there by nature that, okay, you have to follow these laws, otherwise you don't exist anymore. But if you exist, this is kind of a freedom of what you want to make your life about. And that is, I think, where the biggest problem comes, that we are not really comfortable with this freedom. A person feels really, really okay when he or she receives a clear direction. When you tell someone exactly what to do, how to do, this person feels more systematic. The person feels more like in control, because the person has a goal. The person feels like he's doing something relevant, he or she is doing something important, and they feel a sense of content in life. But when you leave it completely open, that do whatever you want, then a lot of us find ourselves in the state where we say, okay, but I don't know what to do. I'm not able to really find what I want to do with my life. And then it all becomes a matter of what opportunities come in front of us, and then the person just goes with those opportunities, and then ends up being somewhere he or she doesn't feel comfortable. So in all this, it's very easy to start expecting from the world, because it is all that I see. It is all that I hear. The only thing that I can know is the world. The senses are designed to bring information. All the 5 senses, they bring information. But what information they would bring? They would only bring the information about the world. And I would end up using that information to create an image of the world around me. Okay? So the brain formulates this world around us based on the information it receives. And because there is nothing else, right? What else would I expect from? I can only expect or find meaning in things which I believe exist. Why would I expect from something that doesn't exist for me? Right? You look in front of you, and actually in front of you there are millions of particles in the air which you cannot see. You cannot even detect them. You never expect anything from them. You never try to find meaning in them. You never feel happy or sad about them, because you cannot detect them. They don't exist for you. So you only find meaning, or you only expect from things which exist for you. And the things which exist for you are defined based on the information received by the senses. Whatever my senses can detect, I would say, yes, that exists. If my senses cannot detect something, I would say it doesn't exist. I can use other methods, more sensitive instruments or different technologies to confirm existence of those things which I am not able to detect. But at least in my daily living, those things are not part of my life. So it's very obvious that I start to find meaning in the things that exist for me, or the things that I know. I rarely waste my energy on the things that I don't know. Right? Most of our life's energy goes on things which happen around us. If you live in the United States, you do not waste your energy thinking about what's going on the at Antarctica or Arctic. I mean, of course, there will be exceptions of being a scientist and you're just doing it, but I'm saying from a common point of view that a person is using all its energy around its own circle of existence, the world around it, him or she, her. So the distant Arctic, which we know exists, but yet it doesn't affect our lives. It doesn't exist for us when I wake up in the morning. So my meaning is driven by what is part of my world, right? And this brings us to the question that why we derive meaning from the world, why we expect from this world. Well, because it's all we have. Simple as that, you can say. I can only expect from what I can see, hear, and this and that. And then comes more basic question, but why do you expect at all? And that is because there is a sense of dissatisfaction inside of me. A totally satisfied person would not be stressed about getting something, right? In the real sense, of course, yeah. A totally satisfied person might be committed to help people, and that's a different thing. But a totally satisfied person wouldn't act from a egocentric attitude. Or you can say it the other way. When you have an egocentric attitude, you can never be satisfied. And that's why you keep expecting. And that's why you keep, you're always trying to find a sense of meaning inside of the things, people, or the world around you. So the inner dissatisfaction leads me to start the process of expectation, to find meaning. Meaning means to feel that something is important, okay? And the only thing important for me is something that will remove my dissatisfaction, right? Something that will fulfill my desire. Because as long as the desire is here, I cannot rest. I really want to achieve that desire. And desire itself is a dissatisfaction. So I have a dissatisfaction and I have nothing else except this world. So naturally I go to the world to find a solution of this dissatisfaction. Then I think I can be satisfied if I will have a big house, if I will have, I don't know how many kids, or if I will have a good reputation in the society, if I would be the best scientist in the world or whatever. So the senses are telling me in which way to go. The senses say that yes, there is this world which exists according to us. We are detecting this world. So go towards this world and try to find a solution of this inner dissatisfaction, this inner conflict that we have. Right? And that's why we keep expecting from the world. But what really happens when you keep doing that is that you always maintain the distance between the observer and the observed. If I use Mr. Krishnamurti's language. If I don't use his language, then we can say we always maintain the distance between me and the world. The moment I say, I want to have that, that very statement means there is me, there is the object which I want to have, and we have a distance between ourselves. It would take me 1 day to get that, 10 minutes to get that, 10 years to get that, whatever it is. That's the distance. That distance is time, actually. Which you also know because that's how you say it. You say, I will have that house in 5 years. So there is a dissatisfaction, and as an obvious resolution, the brain runs behind the world because that's what it can detect and tries to find solution to the dissatisfaction. But while doing so, it always maintains the distance between itself and the world. And when you have distance between 2 points, or when you have the distance between you and the world, there is always going to be more and more problems. You were already dissatisfied inherently, and now the method that you've chosen to fix that dissatisfaction, that method itself is going to create more problems for you. Because it's a dualistic method. It's a dualistic attitude to go forward. And in dualistic attitude, there is always interaction. Those who have studied physics in high school would know constructive interaction or destructive interaction. Two waves meet. You could have the amplitudes constructively and you become twice the amplitude, or you could have them destructively and each amplitude cancels each other and becomes zero. So, in the same way, the whole point of dualistic approach is based on interaction. When you start fixing your dissatisfaction with the dualistic approach, you are indirectly saying, I am going the way of interaction. And when you go to the way of interaction, if the interaction is going to be positive or negative is not in your hands. Because the whole interaction depends on countless factors which are in the universe. You can take a simple example that I want to have a house and I go outside. I make the 2-point approach, me and the house, and in 5 years I will get the house. But the problem is, in this plan, there are thousands of factors. Someone else might be wanting the house. There might be an earthquake before I get the house and the house has fallen apart, right? Or my loan might not get approved. So there are countless factors in dualistic approach, right? But in dualistic approach, the whole point is hope for interaction. I hope one day me and the house will meet. And when we will meet, that meeting will be a state of happiness because I will have the house, so I will feel happy about it, right? But this meeting could itself be delayed, not happen at all, and there's no guarantee when it happens you would be happy about it. Imagine you do that the day you get the house. You were expecting to be very happy, but there's a death in the family at the same day. So all your plans of feeling happiness on that day just washed away because there's already another sadness right next to it. Hence, the good philosophical teachers have always said that to resolve the dissatisfaction, do not start with the dualistic attitude. Start with the other attitude or the other way. In Zen, they call it the way. It's a very beautiful word they have put, the way. So, start with the way where you do not have to create these 2 points. Making 2 points means you are hoping. You already have to create hope because the 2 points already exist because you cannot join them right now. If I want a sweet and it's right in front of me, I wouldn't desire about it. I would just take it. The desire only happens when your current situation and the thing you want, these two cannot be joined. That's when you desire. So the two are apart. It's already a dualistic situation, you and the thing you want. And now you want to bring them together, which requires time and hard work and everything. But this bringing together is not in your hands. There are hundreds of thousands of factors. And there's no guarantee as well that the day you get it, if you would actually have the happiness that you were expecting. Okay. So, the inherent dissatisfaction inside of us makes us expect, makes us give importance to things in the world, because we think that when we will get those things, we will not have this dissatisfaction inside of us. And when we do that, so the dissatisfaction leads to movement towards something. And what would be that something? That would be the world, because that's all I know through my senses. And when I move, I approach through a dualistic manner, where I say, I'm this, that's the thing, and I want to join them now. And that is always not a sensible approach, because it's just, it involves interaction. So, what would be the non-dualistic approach? Maybe we can talk about that in the other video. But yeah, today I would like to maybe sum up here. We already have 27 minutes and it will be too long if I go on. So, the inner dissatisfaction leads to movement. The movement is naturally towards the world because that is what the senses have brought to us. That which the senses cannot bring, we never approach that because for us it doesn't exist. And the things which exist for which we approach, we go with a dualistic attitude. And that is all the path of conflict. Okay? So I hope I have systematically, point by point, joining the points, have shown you this whole cycle. So please try to observe this in your life. There's no other way, there's no other shortcut out of it. You are sleeping and only you can decide when you want to wake up. I can only play the drums next to you. But if you still don't want to wake up, it's your choice. So yeah, that's all will be for today. And we will meet next week. Thank you.